Robertson. I said, but all you oil and gas people, y'all make more money than the criminal side, but you're boring as hell. They had them all laughing.
So it's interesting you say that. So it's a different billing cycle. So oil and gas guys are transactional attorneys, and they get paid by the hour, and then they get a salary. I'm a flat fee guy. So if you're arrested for embezzling large sums of money by the federal court or federal prosecutors, yes, what's up?
You're up on YouTube.
Oh, we're just talking about my job, my day job. Thanks for the heads up there, buddy.
His
Thank
real
you.
job.
I wouldn't turn mics on until I let you know.
Okay.
So we all just yapping silently.
Hold on a second. Let me make this phone call real fast. I'm sorry,
Sure.
Brian.
No, it's okay.
Just
'cause
talk to the coach
I wanted
real
to still
fast.
coach for a second anyway. So this is where your games air on the radio as well. So
Really? You
yes.
know, I had that conversation with, I guess, administration. I wanted to know why we were not on the same station that men's basketball was on. And they were explaining to me that when it gets to be like the spring, you've got so many whatever, and they didn't want to boot you off or whatever. And I said, well, we might need to talk about that. I want to be on the one that gets the most viewership, you know. And so you're kind of opening up and letting me know. So, yeah, I'm learning about all that, you know.
So yeah, we're the home of y'all and softball.
Yeah.
Women's sports are over
Yeah.
here. And then Eagle is where football and basketball and baseball are.
Gotcha.
But even then, yeah, like in the springtime, once baseball starts, there's been times where we've had men's and women's basketball, baseball and softball all on the same day. And I also work for LSU Sports Radio, so I work for Chris Blair and Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been over there trying to be on the phone managing what's going back over the air over here.
Yeah.
It's quite the.
So what is this is 90,
We're 107.3.
107.3.
Eagles 98.1.
Okay. I'll learn, ask more questions, and Patrick doesn't have somebody doing the radio with us. So why? I said, you got two people with men's basketball. And he goes, well, I have somebody at home. I said, again, why don't you have what men's basketball has? So I'm just kind of opening their eyes over there, and you know, you've become complacent on there should be two people doing it every time we play. You know, get a former player, get somebody who has a great voice, get somebody who understands the game, you know. So I just had that conversation about 2 weeks ago because I wanted to talk to who is it at LSU that is it like Patrick's boss?
Chris Blair.
No,
Oh,
I know Chris. It's with the sales part, the marketing part, the. It's not. Is it not Mad? Is it not something? I don't know. And I said, well, we need to talk. We need to decide. You know. I said, what if I want to be on that other station where football and men's basketball are? Just making them think.
Yeah.
I said, if that's the better viewership station, then why are we not over there? You know. So, things that they've never had to think about. It's making them think. I can see conflict, like men's and women's basketball. We don't always play the same time, same day, you know.
No, it crosses the streams a couple times a season.
Yeah.
3-4 times a season.
Yeah, so. And I get, you know, baseball's a big deal, and I get football and all that, but what if women's basketball becomes the big deal it used to be?
Yeah.
You know, I said, you know, I view that in that I want to be on the one where people think LSU athletics is going to have all their sports on. Is it this station or is it the other station? You know, and just I was just asking that because I don't. No one's ever set me down to explain that to me. You know?
I think we've kind of carved ourselves out as the home for the women's sports.
Yeah.
So, Eagle is a stronger signal.
Right.
Other part of that, though, is that Eagle, if you're on Eagle, you're crossing over with, no, you're not. No, you're not. I think we're crossing over with, like, WWL or whatever.
Right.
My conversation would be about being on the
Write that down for me. Just put that on a piece of paper. I'm putting out so many fires on changing things.
a lot bigger than how far the signal goes better. And this is your LSU
write that down. Say, here, Mulkey, this is the first thing you're talking to them about. If you get good, where you want to be heard. This is where men's basketball's heard. This is where football is heard. And I'm not even trying to say football. I'm just saying, what are you doing with men's basketball? Well, we need to be doing the same thing. You know.
So, speaking of what are we doing for women's basketball? As I get on the elevator to go produce the football games on Saturdays, the elevator says, "Do not get off at the second floor." Thank you. I'll call you back.
That's me.
That's you.
I am in the south. I am in the
All right,
south
guys.
end of the football stadium in an open
So
floor.
back to
Write that down for me.
So-
I wouldn't raise money to
so I
get
guess
that done.
a very important question for me, for me to ask you is, okay, so Baton Rouge, Kim Mulkey, what's your favorite place to eat?
Oh God!
I mean, if you got-
I put on 12
I know
pounds
you
since
have.
April, and I'm just like, listen.
What is
I-
your favorite food?
I can't pick one.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't.
Yeah, I don't. You don't have to. You don't have to tell the restaurant. I just want to.
No, I love Italian, so I've been to 2 or 3 Italian. So I've got a few that kind of. Yeah, I'm not going back there. I can get fresher seafood than that.
We lost the stream and had to start over again.
So all that was. Can you delete?
I don't know how to delete it from your page. You're gonna have to delete it from your page. Have you already shared it?
No.
Okay. You'll share the new one. Put the little pictures in the back.
I'm just. It's all right. Hold on one second. We'll call. So we're back live.
Yes.
Hey, YouTube world. This is Franz Borkar on Geaux Rouge. We're going to be starting the show in about 2 minutes. I am sitting here with the coach of the LSU women's basketball, Kim Mulkey. She's going to be our first guest on the show today, and then we're going to have the Salvation Army. You familiar with the Salvation Army?
I'm familiar with anything. You name it, I can talk about it. I have taken my teams in the past to the Salvation Army to.
Well, you need to
feed people.
look. I know you're a busy lady. I know you're kicking things off tomorrow. We're going to talk about that on the radio show. But we've got Morgan, Director of Development from the Salvation Army, in the house. She's actually a fangirl of yours.
Good.
So we were talking earlier. So you're in good space right now, Coach. You're in good space.
Good.
So Brian, whenever you're ready, we can start the show. My court appearance I had court guys like this afternoon at the same time that the Mercy Fall Fest is going on.
Fall Fest is today.
Yes, so court has been continued. So Franzi can go to Fall Fest now, and my kid will not stab me. Co-parenting. How about that? All right, ready?
Yeah, stand by.
All right, welcome to the Geaux Rouge radio show. If you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube or listening on Talk 107.3, welcome to episode 96. Listen, if you're not doing anything after the show today, you need to go to the LSU women's basketball game. They're doing an expedition?
Exhibition.
You make it sound like I'm out in the wilderness, big guy. I'm not that tough. It's
Dude,
an exhibition.
They're doing a
Exhibition.
safari. It's going to be a basketball safari. Look, if you can't recognize that voice, we've got Coach Mulkey in from the LSU women's team. Before we jump into her, who she's going to be having most of the first half of the show, and then the second half is going to be the Salvation Army. Before we jump into that, we got some things we got to talk about, Brian.
Oh.
So first and foremost, Real Men Wear Pink. The American Cancer Society cancer fundraiser competition comes to a head. What day is the last day of October? Is that Sunday?
Sunday.
So we got a couple more days left. I'm in second place in the competition.
Mm-hmm.
I am $10,000 behind. I'm sitting at a strong. I've raised about almost $9,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting $10,000 lighter than the guy in front of me, and I don't like losing. Second place is first. What is the Ricky Bobby line?
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah. So there's still time. If you want to donate, go to the Geaux Rouge page. All the proceeds go to fight breast cancer. We're trying to save second base, so to speak. And then speaking of that, tonight, we're recording the show on Friday. Tonight is the best dressed cancer ball, Brian. Best dressed ball.
Yes.
I'm just going to let you know right now. I'm going to be the best dressed guy in there.
I've got
an outfit coach that's best described as extra. It's a little extra. You ever heard that phrase before? Extra.
Just a little bit.
A little extra.
Isn't that what lanyard means?
I mean, yeah,
You know?
yeah,
And
just
we're
a little.
yeah.
I'm not going to say there's sparkles on there. I'm not going to say there's electric LED lights or anything, but it's going to be something. And then look, shout out to American Cancer Society Best Dressed Ball. They were on the show a couple of months ago. They are finally getting to do, in this crazy COVID world we live in, they are finally getting to do their ball. So I wanted to give a shout out. If you're looking to donate some more money to cancer awareness and fighting cancer, you can definitely do that there. Before we jump in with the coach, we need to thank our show sponsors. These are the businesses that make the Geaux Rouge show possible. Dr. Gunjarena with MDVIP Concierge Medical Services. You can check her out at www.drrena.com. Brian, I'm just going to tell you, negative 100 pounds right now. Negative 100.
It's pretty awesome.
I've lost 100 pounds.
Wow.
I don't even know where it's from
well,
anymore.
You've given me 12 of them.
You know
since I
what?
moved
We
here.
got enough between us that we can make it work.
Well, you live in Louisiana.
There-
You fluctuate.
I
up
don't
and
see
down.
how people eat our food and don't like early coronary. And maybe they do. I don't know. But yeah, Dr. G, she is Concierge Medical Services. She helps me with my daily routine. I talk to her about once a week. We have La Divina Italian Cafe serving select wines, ice cold beer, plus their exclusive sorbet mimosa. Check them out. I had hot tea from there this morning. It was delicious. They were also serving up some great breakfast. One of the best brunch spots in town, Coach.
Well, you need to write it down.
I'm,
for me.
dude, I've got you. I'm going to
Write
give you a
it down,
list.
buddy.
And then last but not least, the Borkart Law Firm. The Borkart Law Firm is kind of like the LSU women's basketball team. Excellence. They literally are sweating excellence. So that's my law firm, criminal defense firm. If you have anything you need, somebody was telling me at the Best Dressed Ball rehearsal yesterday, Brian, I need to do it like a gimmick. Like your first felony, half off, second one, full. I don't know. I don't feel good about that. I don't know. What do you think about that?
It's a bad business model.
Bad business. I'm not
encouraging-
encouraging crime.
There you go.
The Borkart, so we're clear, Franz Borkart and the Borkart Law Firm in no way endorses crime because at the end of the day, once I'm hired, my clients are innocent. And in a way that they've never been innocent before. So, all that aside, Borkart Law Firm, check us out at www.borkartlawfirm.com. Okay, without further ado, enough foreplay. I've got Coach Mulkey in the house. Coach, how are you doing this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm amped up. I've had so much caffeine this
I
morning.
can tell.
And I'm excited because I got to tell you, Brian has been here for every single episode I've recorded. You are the crown jewel of my guest. And I've had some pretty important people on my show from your university. You're the crown jewel. So
Well, I don't know if that's true.
I'm buttering you up like a roll, lady.
I don't know if that's true. I'm just a little old country girl from Tantro Parish.
you're a lot of things. Little
You're
old country.
Right, you're right.
So-
I came back home, and thank you for inviting
Not
me.
a problem. So Brian and I are actually members of the Rotary Club of Baton Rouge, and we heard you speak there. You did a magnificent job, Coach. You're gonna tell. You got to wade through my sincerity and my over-the-top BS, but it's all goodly in
But
nature.
hey,
So
I can go with the
Yeah,
flow.
yeah.
I'm
So-
adjustable and adaptable.
So
Hey,
let's talk.
Let's do it.
LSU basketball season starts essentially Saturday, right?
2 p.m. exhibition against Langston.
Okay.
And a little tidbit, the head coach of Langston is a former women's basketball player at LSU.
Awesome. Who's that?
Elaine Powell. She
Awesome.
played her high school career at Carroll High School in Monroe, Louisiana, and came to LSU and played.
If I'm interested in going to that game on Saturday, how about I get tickets?
Free, buddy. You
Oh,
don't have to
just
spend
walk
any
on
of
in?
your lawyer money. You can save it, and hey, you can use it at the cancer ball that you're going to be
Yes,
dressed to the
yes.
T for. Exhibitions will be free, and it'll be
Good.
at 2 o'clock, and you don't win or you lose, but we do keep score.
Awesome. So unlike kindergarten basketball, my son, we were talking before the show starts, unlike my kindergartner, they don't keep score, thank God. Y'all do keep score, but there's no winner. It's a get out there and knock the dust. I mean, y'all been practicing for how long now?
Oh, going on 5th week. We're finishing up our 5th week now.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, so walk me through. Tell me a little bit about you coming back home. Back home.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what you want to know.
You're just a country girl.
I got a phone call from Stephanie,
Okay.
which is Scott Woodward's right hand.
Okay.
And she just basically was vetting me, I think. And
What's it feel like to be vetted?
Well, you feel like you're being interrogated.
Right.
How much do you want to talk about yourself?
Right.
But mainly, I think they wanted to know my salary.
Okay.
At Baylor.
What's the number?
Well, I had to tell them, unfortunately, because in the contracts at Baylor, you're not supposed to talk about it because it's a private school and
Right.
people can't gain access to your salary. But in order for them to possibly offer me later, they needed to know what they were up against. And
So I think
I shared it with
I
her.
think the term I heard or phrase I heard you use was a buttload of money. Or was it a bucket of money or a buttload of money?
Well, I don't think I said either one. I think somebody else told you that, and you're getting me confused. I didn't come for the money.
I know you didn't.
Let me seriously tell you, it was not about money because Baylor took great care of me.
So,
In
yes.
fact, I probably left money on the table at Baylor because I left a Final Four team, and the bonus structure there would have been. I'm not going to get bonuses
So you're
here right
stealing my thunder already,
now.
Coach.
Okay, all right.
You've-
Then I should have been a lawyer then.
You could still be. There's still
Too
time.
late for that. Too
So
late for
so
that.
you're asking the question I want answered, which is okay. You're at a great university. You're doing great up there. Why leave? Why come to LSU?
One, it was home.
Right.
I didn't have to learn much about the state. I didn't have to learn much about the institution, although I'm not a LSU grad. I went to Louisiana Tech. I grew up 40 minutes away in Hammond. The timing in my life, both my children are older now. I have grandchildren. And I just felt like, wow, they are really investing in women's basketball, and new administration here, and it just felt right. It felt like, Kim, you're being sent a message.
I like it.
And you need to respond and think this through. And I did, and I felt comfortable in that I did not leave the cupboard bare at Baylor. I left
Right.
a tremendous team that should win another Big 12 championship and vie for another Final Four national championship. And go do this. And the thing that really sold me on it is that my staff wanted to come with me.
Okay.
And I'm too old to teach a new staff new tricks. And so if
I'm noticing a theme here. Too old to go to law school. Too old to teach staff new tricks. I disagree, Coach. I disagree. Okay, but I got you. So you get to bring your people with you.
Absolutely.
You're coming home.
Absolutely.
So talk to me a little bit about women's basketball, the state of affairs at LSU prior to you coming here, and then what is changing? What is
I don't want to say what it was like
Okay.
coming, because I think you're very careful when you inherit a new team and you take over a program. You don't want to talk about the previous
Right.
staff in any negative way. I'm going to talk about it like this. There's such great history here with women's basketball. 6 Final Fours, some of the
Right.
greatest players to ever play the game and still playing the game in the WNBA. And so you knew that people loved women's basketball here. It just kind of dwindled some through the last few years, and I got to not only experience playing against those great teams LSU had, but I got to watch it. And I just thought this is a place that will embrace it. This is a place that is ready for it to explode again, and the new administration is making the commitment financially, and let's go there and let's do what we did 21 years ago when I took over at Baylor. Let's upgrade the facilities, let's get the fans involved, let's sell season tickets, and let's go recruit.
All right, so you just I don't have season tickets yet. I'm ashamed to
Okay,
admit
so
that.
I should have told my secretary, who told me to come be on this show with you today. Did you ask him first if he had bought his season
That's
tickets?
okay. That's between you and your
So
secretary.
now I will give you holy hell as we sit here and say, before the day's out, I'm going to call back here
So-
and say, did you go get your tickets
so
today?
I not only do I not have tickets, I have literally no excuse, Coach.
Okay.
You handed your assistant handed us at the
She
Rotary
did.
meeting
She did.
these. It couldn't be easier, guys. All I had to do was scan this little whatever you call those little
That's
images,
Barcode.
Barcodes.
and I could have gotten these tickets. But let's say now I want to make it right. I want to make an amends with you and make
All
it
right,
right.
I'm
Where do I
listening.
go? Where do I go to get season tickets so that I can get them, and then the people listening can get them
Well,
as well?
first of all, go to the game Saturday free.
Okay.
You don't have
Saturday?
to pull out any of your dollars, okay? And then when you're there, I'll guarantee you they'll point you in the right direction.
Okay.
And then they'll show you how to put that credit card probably in that little scanning machine like you do when you go to the grocery store or when you're buying
I
your,
like what you just did
you're
there.
buying your kids something, That's how you do it.
Did you notice what she just did there, guys?
Yeah.
She got us to go to the game on Saturday.
That's right.
All right. So, okay. So part of what I love about you is you do have a certain swagger and energy. And I said this before we started recording. You kind of remind me of the lawyer version of me in your area. There's a certain self-confidence. You can back it up. You have backed it up. So part of your job, is it to have that kind of, I mean, it's not just coaching, but it's also to bring people to what you're doing and get them excited about the sport, right?
Well, I think it's my personality, first
Well,
of all.
yeah.
And then when you think about who I played for, guys, I played for two legendary figures in Leon Barmore, who's in the Naismith Hall of Fame, and Pat Summitt. She was my coach in the 84 Olympics. You want to talk about intense and passionate and personalities. And I want people to love women's basketball the way I do. I want them to appreciate it. I want them to be valued. And I saw it at its ultimate. Back in the day when Sue Gunter was here, and I saw from afar when Van Chancellor was here and Pokey Chapman and all those guys, and I thought, you know what, let's go bring that back. And I didn't leave Baylor empty, and that made me feel good there as well. My heart broke when I left there, but I think, what we all do in life is have passion and enthusiasm for what you do. I listened to you talk this morning. You love what you're doing here.
I do love what I'm doing here.
And that's not even what you do in the courtroom, you
Right.
know? And so I can only imagine what you invest there. And I invest in it. I just want to bring people to something, young kids to something, families, older people, to something that they can be proud of. We're not going to win a ton of games probably this year, but I'm going to celebrate when we win one more than the previous season. I'm going to celebrate, man, when we win that game that says we can't have a losing season.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's making people understand the passion that you have for something. And I'm out in my neighborhood. You can ask them. I don't even know all my neighbors, but those same little things you talked about us giving out at Rotary, I put them in everybody's mailbox. And, we don't have mailboxes in my neighborhood on the street. That's the weirdest thing to me. The mailboxes are like at the door. You got to walk up to the door and
so
put
you
it
had to
in
reach
there.
out and touch them almost.
Yeah, so, we're working it. And nothing that I haven't done, nothing that I didn't do 21 years ago. The only difference is you have children.
I have a child, yes.
I have children, but they're grown. So I was out in the community at soccer games, at basketball games, and I would meet people who had children. And I had people coming to women's basketball games at Baylor that never gave a flip about women's sports. But they could carry on a conversation with me about sports and felt like they were sitting in a dugout with a teammate. They're like, God, that woman knows her sports.
So we, my son's mother, myself, we started my son at 10 months old going to LSU basketball games because we're all huge basketball fans. Never thought basketball and my son was going to click. And then about whenever the Harlem Globetrotters were in town,
that was just before the pandemic.
Yeah, he just got the fever, and he went to the Harlem Globetrotters, and we're co-parenting and trying to find things that he really likes to do, and he's got the fever now. And so he's playing basketball. He wants to go to LSU basketball games. And I was talking to him about it. I said, look, I'm thinking about getting season tickets for you and I to go to women's basketball. He just wants to see great basketball. And he loves, and if you watch him watching basketball, it is like watching the child that has his mouth kind of partially open. Like, it's just this fascination.
Sure.
And so for me, one, I love the sport. And Brian will tell you, I don't know diddly squat about sports, except basketball. I seem to know a little bit about basketball. Or at least I can fake it.
Right.
I mean,
right.
I'm gonna let you do the. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you do the heavy lifting.
You do this, you get up and you
right.
cheer.
So okay, you hinted on it, and we've got plenty of time here, but you hinted on it. Goals for this year. What are your fundamental goals? And then I want you to talk a little bit about the culture that you're trying to establish at the Ladies Tigers.
Well, let's talk about goals that the public can help
Sure.
me with. I
Sure.
know what my goals are internally with my team and what our expectations need to be, because I can be fair. I'm with them every day.
Right.
But my goals are to have 5,000 season tickets sold. We are right at 4,400, and we haven't even made a push for that. Okay, so if we can sell 5,000 season tickets in the very first year, that goes back to why I came back here. It's people are hungry. They believe. They want to be a part of it. And then we have what's called a fast break club. I think there were 22 members, if I am correct. Well, guys, that's not going to cut it. The Fast Break Club is an extra booster club where they pay dues, and that's money that if I need something at the last minute that's not covered in the budget. And we had over 500 to 700 in the booster club I had at Baylor, and I want to get that to 250 in the first year. I have a monthly luncheon. I'll meet. They'll see a side of me like you saw at Rotary, where it's like, wow, this woman is funny. I think that's probably the biggest thing my children tell me. It's like, Mom, you've got everybody fooled. They think you're just so intense and passionate. You're hysterical, and you show that to the fans in settings like that. So those are my two that the community in Baton Rouge and Louisiana can help us with. I have never, think about this, I've never worked at a flagship university. That you were the biggest university in the state. I was at Louisiana Tech, okay? I was at Baylor. This is my first go at a huge fan base, a huge alumni base, and a bigger brand. We built a huge brand in women's basketball at Baylor. But just, you can go anywhere and just have the 3 letters, LSU, and there's no mistaking where that institution is located. So that in itself is exciting for me.
So I was at a conference in Las Vegas before the hurricane, legal conference, and I was sitting in, so I've got a bad habit. I smoke cigars, and I was sitting in a cigar shop, and I had an LSU shirt on, and behind me I heard "Go Tigers," and then sure enough, it's that universal wherever you are, if you know, and not everywhere is special like that. I mean, everybody roots for their respected teams and everything, but we have like a family atmosphere. So I'm geared up. I'm excited. Brian, now look, Brian, I brought her here also partially so I could share her with you too, because you are a basketball enthusiast. Anything you want to ask the coach while she's here?
Couple, if I
yeah,
can.
I got it. Go for it.
No, absolutely.
Go for it. Nothing's
I want to
off
start.
limits
I
with
want
me.
to start with recruiting, if we
Let's
can.
do it.
How strong is the Louisiana recruiting base when it comes to high school girls basketball right now?
Well, certainly it's not going to be as many as let's use Texas, for example, where I've been for 21 years. The state is huge. It takes 8 hours to get from one side of the state to the other. We're such a small geographical area, but you got to remember there's only a handful, sad to say, but there's only a handful of difference makers in women's basketball, okay? But look at the ones I recruited to Baylor that came from Louisiana, Kalani Brown, Moon Urson, and the list goes on. So you don't have to have like 20 kids that are difference makers in the state of Louisiana. When I was at Louisiana Tech, guys, we went to Final Fours with those small school kids in North Louisiana that just wanted to, get a free education and would run through a wall for you. It's as good as anywhere. You have the good classes, you have the bad classes. You've got the ones that are role play, Recruiting is recruiting. You got to go find them wherever they are. And then you got to be realistic on, do you really have a shot at them?
Yeah.
Do you really have a shot at them? I'm not, like you said earlier, I'm not into being in second place. I don't get a thrill saying, oh, we were in her top 5. I don't. I want to go get somebody that believes in you, that wants to play for you, to help us get this thing rolling fast. And we feel like that we're getting the right kids. We think that in the first couple of classes, we're really, really, we're going to make an impact.
It's interesting you bring up that do you really have a shot at them, because when I think of, Simone and Sil and Tamika, and these are all names that played before your current recruits were born.
Correct.
I mean, on a literal timeline, like you're talking about within a year or two, but they no longer associate. I'm curious because, well, full disclosure, I've got 2 daughters. One's in 9th grade, one's in 4th grade.
That's really why I was, by the way, Coach.
No. It's because I have a 9th grader at St. Joseph that I can tell you, go over to St. Joseph's Academy and look at Michelle Daigle. She's a freshman. She's going to impress you. But I like the idea of growing the sport overall because I see the impact it has on young girls and how they grow up with strength and teamwork through basketball. I'm a lifelong lifer for basketball. Strength and teamwork through basketball that will carry with them far beyond of every 1,000 that I'm sure you look at, one's going to play for you. But every last one of them will carry with them for the rest of their lives the lessons they learned on the court, whether it be in high school, junior high, or should they make it up to your level.
Do people really, you could have absolutely zero knowledge of sports. Let's say you don't even like it. Mm-hmm. If you would ever sit, that person that doesn't like it, doesn't care about it, doesn't understand it, any sport, if they would just sit down with a coach and talked about what do you learn from sports? Let's take away the winning and the losing and the firing of coaches and the hiring of coaches and let's take all that away and let's just talk about life. Think about all of the things you learn just participating in sports, even as young as his kid. Mm-hmm. You learn failure. You learn how to share the ball and excitement. You learn how to deal with people that come from different cultures. You learn, there's nothing in sports that you don't carry over to real life. Nothing. My degree's in business administration. I was working on my master's degree. I was never going to be a coach. And I can tell you, everything I teach on that floor, I make sure those kids understand you're going to remember this someday. And you're not going to remember who the starting five was. Right. You'll remember the superstars. They'll last, your legend lasts forever. But I can tell you, as much as we were loved at Louisiana Tech, and guys, it was unbelievable there. And as much as we were loved at Baylor, if you ask a fan that never missed a game, I bet they can't tell you, for the most part, every starter on every team that won a championship. Right. Nobody really cares about that. But what those people don't understand is what we're teaching in life. It just, to this day, I'm like, sports made me who I am, not made me Kim Mulkey, the great Naismith. I could care less about that. You think I got into coaching to do all that? Hell, I was talked into coaching. But what I learned through sports, rejection, kicked out of a dugout at 12 years old, playing Dixie Youth and at the All-Star game in Ponchatoula. Are you kidding me? 12 years old, tears. What do you mean I can't play because I'm a girl? Okay, all right. Well, let's fight that in the courts later. Girls play all the time now.
Right.
That's another lesson in itself. Right. So, and that's what I want. I want people to come that love sports, love basketball, but I want to look up and I want to see those people in the stands that don't have a clue about it and go, golly, that woman's intense. Golly, those kids play hard.
So what I love, and if you're just now tuning in to the Geaux Rouge show, we're listening to, we're having a conversation with Coach Mulkey. One of my favorite things, because I don't coach sports, I do assist and mentor younger attorneys. Mm-hmm. And I get asked all the time, what are some of the important lessons that you learn from doing the practice of law, playing the sport? And my favorite one, because we talked about losing earlier, is I never want to lose. I always want to win, right?
And when you lose that first case.
Right. So here it is. I tell people all the time, I always want to win. But the reality is you're not
going to.
Right. We're not on Mars, we're on Earth. And I said, once I realized that I could get my knees scraped up and that I can get up and keep fighting, that made me feel tremendously unstoppable. Because you're not going to out-prep me. You're not going to outwork me. You may be smarter than me. There's a lot of people, Coach, that are smarter than me. So there are some serious life lessons. And look, I'm never going to be, I'm saying this, Brian's looking at me, I'm never going to be that parent. I'm just happy my kid is out there and is playing. I like the conversations we have in the car on the way home about things you can learn from obstacles and all this. Your son tells you on the way home, I didn't make any baskets. And I'm like, well, you shot the ball. You did a great job, buddy. You got a rebound. You can't, if you want to focus on the things you didn't do, you're going to miss out on all these other things you did do. So anyways, we got about 2 minutes left with the coach?
Thereabouts.
Okay, so Coach, one more time. Saturday, 2 o'clock, freebie. Come watch you guys play. You can get season ticket information from there, by the way. And by the way, if I want to get the Fast Break Club info, if I want to be, what does that mean, by the way? Fast Break Club. What do I get? Do I get a card?
Well, it depends on what level you give.
Oh, my goodness. There's levels.
The more you give, the more you get,
right? That's life.
There's, I think, 3 levels, and you get shirts, and you get to eat dinner with me or lunch with me.
I can get to a level where I can just have dinner with you.
Well, yeah, but you got to share me. You got to share me. But I will say this. I will say this. Those at the highest level, at the end of the season, I do have a dinner with those people. And it's wonderful. It's you feel a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, you feel a part of it, and we're going to get those numbers up too.
Yeah.
If I can get 250 in that thing the first year,
When you
man.
said what you said at the Rotary Club meeting about season tickets and how they were, the cheapest, you said that the cheapest seats right now are about $50.
Yep.
And you said something afterwards, and Brian, I'm paraphrasing her. It was something like, "It ain't going to be like that forever." And I'm sitting there thinking, I believe her. I believe her.
Let me tell you, when I got to Baylor, they were giving out free pizza to the ones that cheered the loudest, and they would give out vouchers. And I said, you better enjoy it. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm over all giving out free tickets. I love to give free tickets for the exhibition. That gets people excited.
Right.
But, guys, women's sports is not the profitable. We are the recipient of what the cash cows are, and that is football,
Right.
men's basketball, and at LSU, baseball. Okay, but it's only those two sports
But we
across
need
the
to-
country. But you can't put a dollar value on the number of times the women's programs are on national television and they bring that great publicity. Oh, Coach, I came to Baylor because we saw y'all play for the national championship. Oh, Coach, I did. There's a place for all of us, and I am certainly one. I just want to do my part. I want to make LSU proud. I want to make the state of Louisiana proud, and I'm just so darn lucky to be here and happy.
Well, I'm excited that you're here and you're happy, and I appreciate you coming on the Geaux Rouge Show. We're about to take our first break, Coach. If you're just now tuning in, we've been sitting down with LSU women's basketball coach, Coach Mulkey. It's been, first of all, I'm excited. I'm so excited about your program, excited about what's coming up. I'm going to be there Saturday with my son at 2. You should check it out, too. LSU basketball, 2 o'clock, free. You can get information while you're there about season tickets, and I'll be getting my season. I'll be expecting a call from your.
Listen, I told a couple other guys, was it T-Bob and Hester? I said, I will find y'all. Go buy season tickets.
Yeah.
They have daughters. They have children.
Yeah.
I will find y'all. I will find you. Go buy a ticket.
So we'll talk at the break about something. I like LSU basketball sports because it is a very specific amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to get in and out of. It's not like a football game. You're not going to be giving all your day away. But anyways, we're going to take our first break, Brian. When we come back, we got the Salvation Army in the house. We'll be right back. All right, so we're still on YouTube. I want to get a picture with the coach if that's okay. Is that okay with you
Sure.
too? I mean, so
Sure.
so I love basketball games on campus because the parking's not terrible. The game lasts a certain amount of time. If it's a night game, and I don't know how many night games y'all have versus I looked at the schedule.
That's an SEC deal.
Yeah, so thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.
So generally the boy goes down at about 7:45-ish, and so you can watch him at the basketball game if it's a 7 or 8 o'clock game, LSU basketball. He's sitting there and you can watch the eyes getting a little droopy.
Oh, yeah.
And so, anyways, thank you, Coach. I really do appreciate it.
Y'all have a good day.
Can I get 2 things from you?
Sure.
First, since we are still humble with sports, can I get a 10-second promo?
Yeah.
This is Kim Mulkey. You're listening
Yes.
to the home of LSU Ladies
Yes.
Basketball Talk 103.
Yes.
Of course you can.
Right
Seemed
here.
like you were just on, yes.
Okay.
And if you want to slip in there, Franz Borghardt is the best criminal defense attorney I've ever
All right, tell me what you need me to say.
Hey, this is Coach Kim Mulkey. You're listening to the home of Lady Tiger Basketball Talk 107.3.
All right, they don't want me to say lady anymore, so I got to say women's bat. Let me think how I want to say it. There you go. All right. And say it again, because I got to get the talk.
107.3.
Let me write that down.
We're just taking a break here so Brian can do some promo stuff. We'll be right back, I promise. Take your time. This is
Kim Mulkey. You're listening to.
The home of LSU Women's
Okay. Talk 107.3.
Yes.
We're good?
With a little bit of energy too, Coach.
Wow.
You saw me wink at him, right?
I did.
I've never been told.
It's like a wink
I
of
need
death.
more energy.
So low energy, Coach.
It's always been, ooh, damn, she's always wound up.
Rolling when you're ready.
Hi, this is Kim Mulkey, head coach of the LSU women's basketball. You're listening to the home of LSU women's basketball, Talk 107.3. Good enough? Be good, buddy. I'm impressed you've lost that weight. I just wish that I was more disciplined, but I'll get it off.
I don't know where you're going to lose it from, Coach.
No, it's set up at the house. Finally, I'm in a home and got my stuff set up. So, yeah.
This is
Mr. America.
I didn't know if y'all.
I don't know him. I know his mama. His mama's there much better than he is. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
All right. Good.
Morgan, you're just as important as Coach Mulkey. Come on down.
Thanks for the good interview.
I need to set up to get you on my show as well.
Saw this lady sitting here though. Hey, I'm Flynn Foster.
Morgan.
She's Salvation Army.
Okay, well, great.
Yeah, I'm just here trying to introduce, trying to connect you guys. And,
Still look great, bud.
dude, I've gained I'll share this on live, but I've gained about 5 pounds, but I feel like I'm still in the zone of.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this dance now. We're gonna gain a little, we're gonna lose a little, gain a little.
Maintenance dance.
Yeah. The good thing the cigar smoking, Flynn, has really kept my appetite down. Anyways,
That's my justification.
so but guys, we're just waiting for Brian Haldane to come back, and we're gonna start the second half. How are you?
Good. I don't know how I'm going to follow that up, but
You're gonna
I
do
picked
great.
a good day to wear
You're
my
good.
LSU sweatshirt.
You're doing
though.
great. I'm glad you're more than LSU Felice. So we're just chilling out over here.
Just hanging out.
So for those who are watching right now, while we kill this time, if there's guests that you guys want to see on the show, sometimes it happens that I have guests I want to get on, like Coach Mulkey. Sometimes I get a call from Salvation Army, and they're trying to get something from me, and I'm like, I haven't had Salvation Army on the show before. Why don't y'all come on down? Just drop us an email at info@GeauxRouge.com, info@GeauxRouge.com, and I will certainly get back to you. We're about to start our second half. It's been a day. It's been a week.
It's been a long week, yeah.
It's been a very long week.
I think it's been that way for everybody.
All right.
Oh, this week was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 4 years. One of the two.
What'd you do this week? I got a degree. Are y'all ready?
We're going to do a 2-minute intro, and then I'll introduce you.
Convenient location, plenty of complimentary parking, and flexible spaces ready to bring your event to life. Whether you're planning a redo for a missed wedding this spring or looking ahead to a holiday party for your office, the event space allows for fun while remaining socially distant. And the best part, there's even an option for your guests to take the elevator home at the end of the night. Discover the differences at Renaissance Baton Rouge Hotel. RenHotels.com/Baton Rouge.
All right, welcome back to the Geaux Rouge Radio Show. This is your host, Franz Borkhardt.
Did you just shut the door on the coach?
I did just shut the door on the coach. She needs to understand this is the Geaux Rouge Show. She's had her time. Look, now it's the Salvation Army's time. Okay?
I mean,
don't show weakness, Brian Haldane. Don't show. Look, if you're just now
it's
tuning
not
in,
weakness, it's hospitality.
I had the coach on the show. I bet you if we were to poll Guarantee Broadcasting right now, I wonder how many other shows in the pantheon that are the Guarantee Broadcasting shows, ESPN, Talk 107.3, I wonder how many other shows have had the coach on.
3.
3.
Yes.
And of Talk 107.3, have you had her on yet?
No, I was waiting until the season started.
Oh, dude, she's great.
Yeah.
She is absolutely great. I'm excited because, one, she made time, and I'm humble enough to say this, guys. She made time out of her schedule to be on this little old show. And as much as I'm an ego-driven narcissist, I recognize that the Geaux Rouge Show is not exactly the priority for the LSU women's basketball coach, but she humored me. So if you're just now tuning in, episode 96, 4 more to go until we hit 100.
Wait,
Yes,
one
Brian.
more update on the coach. One of the things I was asking her about in the hallway in the break right there. An update on Kramer Robertson because he's in AAA with St. Louis. And whether or not he's going to be called up this coming year, which I firmly believe he is. But St. Louis fired their manager, brought on a new, moved the bench coach up. So that's the former LSU Tiger, Kramer Robertson, son of Kim Mulkey. His situation's still up in the air heading into next year.
Okay, thanks. All right, so before we jump in, poor Morgan. I got Morgan in from Salvation Army. Poor Morgan's like, yeah, that's a tough act to follow, huh, Franz? Morgan, you're going to do great. So before we jump into the Salvation Army, we're going to thank our show sponsors. We got the Borkhardt Law Firm, criminal defense firm, the finest criminal defense firm in the universe. La Divina Italian Cafe, open every day with your custom
Wait,
made
you're not saying the metaverse yet?
multiverse, not metaverse, multiverse.
Metaverse is the new Facebook thing.
I don't know what metaverse.
All right.
Is that what they're calling it? The metaverse?
Yeah.
I got feelings on that one. Custom made from scratch breakfasts, La Divina Italian Cafe, and then last but not least, Dr. Gunja Reyna with MDVIP. Check her out at drreyna.com. Metaverse. Facebook is now the metaverse.
Yeah, the Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Oculus, it all falls under the metaverse.
Can I say it on the radio? It's douchey.
It is.
It feels douchey, right? Whatever that means, whatever that phrase means, that's what it feels like.
It's somehow non-human.
Yes.
And so is Mark Zuckerberg.
So we have the Salvation Army in the house. Morgan, shout out to Morgan. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
So Morgan's entity called the Borkart Law Firm asking for money, and I did a sleight of hand. I said, Deborah, who called me. I said, Deborah, instead of me giving you money, I'm going to give you a gift bigger than money. I'm going to let you on the Geaux Rouge show. It's the gift that gives all year round.
Yep.
Is that Cousin Eddie? So, what's going on with the Salvation Army?
It's Christmas for us, believe it or not. We're walking into the 1st of November, and we've been working on Christmas for about a month already.
So someone asked me, and I don't know how to ask this. Someone asked me, and I want you to say it in your own words.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly does the Salvation Army do? And I said, that's a great. I mean, do they have uniforms? Do they have a militia? I mean, what's the Salvation
Do we
Army?
carry guns?
Yeah,
What are we doing?
what is the Salvation Army?
We are a human services nonprofit, so we get asked that question a lot.
Right.
Globally, we're an organization. We do different things in every state, every zip code, every country that we're in. Here in Baton Rouge, we run a drug and alcohol rehabilitation center for men. We've got a homeless shelter on our property. We do after-school programs. We have a program called Pathway of Hope, which takes single parents struggling in the poverty to get their education furthered, get them in stable housing, get them good jobs so that they can provide for their children and break the cycle of poverty. We provide food boxes. At Christmas time, you'll see us out there. We're ringing those bells. That's actually our
That is the
largest
Salvation
fundraiser.
Army, right?
Yes.
You ever ring a
are.
bell for the Salvation Army?
I've tried to buy one.
You tried to buy a bell?
Yeah.
I'll sell you a bell.
Yeah. Somebody standing outside of, I forget which grocery store it was, but they're like, care to make a donation? And I'm like, I'll buy the bell. And they're like, no. I was like, okay.
So the Salvation
I still
Army,
donated, by the way.
Salvation Army is working on an initiative right now, which is why you guys called. What is the initiative?
Angel Tree. So
Okay.
that's our big thing. That's Christmas. We ring bells and we do Angel Tree. Angel Tree is locally, we do about 3,000 kids. We actually just did some sign-ups yesterday that put us right over 3,000 kids for the year, 1,500 families. We do applications with people, and basically it just provides that assistance to families who have to make the decision between paying rent and providing Christmas for their kids. We take those kids and those applications, we turn them into what we call angel tags. We send those out to the public. The public then adopts them and purchases gifts and clothing. We purchase gifts and clothing for the kids who don't get adopted. And then right before Christmas, the parents come and pick everything up. The kids, in our perfect scenario, don't know what's going on. Sometimes they do, but we hope the kids don't know what's going on and where these things are coming from. But it's a good program. It's one of my favorites. I mean, we all remember the joy of waking up on Christmas morning. That's something that will sit with those of us who were privileged enough to wake up with that joy for the rest of our lives.
So if you're Brian Haldane and you're listening to this and you want to get involved, you want to give until it hurts, how can we get involved and how can we spread the message?
You can go to our Angel Tree website, Salvation Army Angel Tree, or Salvation Army Baton Rouge AngelTree.org. It's very easy. It's also on our main website, SalvationArmyBR.org. You go on, you adopt an angel, you get an angel tag emailed to you. It's going to have the first name of a real child in the city, and it's going to have everything that they've asked for Christmas in their clothing sizes. And with instructions on what to do from there, you go out, you buy the things, you buy one or two things, or you buy all of the things, and you call us, we come pick them up, or you drop them off, and then we handle the rest from there. We get everything out to the parents. So
I like it.
it's easy. It's an easy way to give back, right? I mean, you can, as simply as you can get on Amazon.com, order everything you want to order, ship it to us, and we take care of it from there.
So what are the things you need most right now? Coming into Toys. Okay, tell me more about that.
So we service kids 12 from birth to 12 years old. As long as the child is born before December 25th, we also do newborns that moms are still pregnant with. And so we need toys for kids of all ages. Our biggest struggle every year, though, is toys for those boys and girls that are between the ages of 10 and 12. You know, that's that weird, funky age where they're not necessarily playing with Barbies and Legos anymore, but you don't really know what to get them.
Right.
So, but that is our biggest struggle. So, like footballs and basketballs, baseball bats, skateboards, hair supplies, things, purses and things for girls.
I definitely have a problem with hair supplies.
I'm sure you do.
My son, who is 6, you may have heard about Fisher in the first segment. We were talking to Coach Mulkey. My son, who is 6, never misses an opportunity to remind me that his father has no hair and that he has glorious hair, but that Daddy has no hair.
Gotta love the honesty.
That was just me beating up on myself for a little bit there.
Fisher does have glorious hair, by the way.
Oh, I got in so much trouble, dude. So I took him to Catrone's.
Yeah, so.
And I got a haircut, and it's a high and tight kind of thing. And he looks great with it, right? He looks great in it. But Fisher has floppy, curly hair. And I'm hesitant to make this admission on the radio. We push the limit of acceptable hair for Mercy. Now, he's a kindergartner, so I'm convinced their rules are not as stringent as upperclassmen and Mercy, but we push it because he has this beautiful, curly, floppy hair. The cut I got him, it's straight. All the curls are gone.
Can you blame me? Is it too late to blame me and say as his coach said it was getting in the way of his jump shot?
Did you tell him that?
No. I mean, it'd be total BS, but if you want to throw me under the bus, you can.
Yeah. So Daddy was getting a haircut. Yes, I have no hair. Daddy was getting a haircut, and so I had him with me. And so he said, "Can I get a big boy haircut?" And that's, I don't know. We've derailed the tracks on this right away. All right. So if you're just now tuning in, Salvation Army. Morgan, one more time, where do they go to give you guys support?
They can go to our main website. Everything they'll need to know about the Christmas season's on the front page, salvationarmybr.org.
All right. So in our remaining minutes, Morgan, you can stick around if you want to. I mean, we've got a few minutes left in the Geaux Rouge show today. Mm-hmm. We got about 4 minutes. In our remaining minutes, I need to talk about the Real Men Wear Pink. So you'll be noticing that in addition to me getting my purple and gold on today, I also have a little bit of pink, a little subtle pink. And tonight I'll be wearing some pink at the Best Dress Ball. That's right, the Best Dress Ball. Baton Rouge Best Dress Ball. Probably going to be the best looking, best dressed guy there, Brian. It's going to happen.
Baton Rouge's most extra will be on display.
Over the top. So they have this thing at the Best Dress Ball where they hand us microphones to help rabble-rouse to get people to donate during one of the giving parts of the evening. So this is where it gets fun. They hand me a microphone. You can either be a clipboard person or a microphone. But they think, because I do radio, and they think because I'm a lawyer, let's give them a microphone. I literally said giving me the microphone is the biggest mistake you could possibly do. And what then ensued in the rehearsal was me utilizing the microphone for everything except what we were supposed to be rehearsing. Because the microphone and I are like this. We're like this. If I could get into a relationship with a microphone, it might be the best relationship I've ever had. No, that's not true. You wanted to say something there, but you're not gonna.
No, when I was supposed to do the open mic thing, my opening joke was about standing between you and a microphone.
Dude, it's like watching a dog get to the bone, man. It's not. You can lose a hand. You can lose a hand. So, anyways, Best Dress Ball tonight. American Cancer Society is still raising money for Real Men Wear Pink until Sunday. You can go to Kendra Scott and use a code. I don't know if you knew this. Kendra Scott, are you familiar? You're familiar with Kendra Scott? You may want to tell your husband about this. Until all day Saturday, you can go to Kendra Scott. You can use the code. It's on the Geaux Rouge Facebook page right now. The code is give back one word hyphen AUXUB. That I guess that's AUXUB. So it's give back dash AUXUB, and 20% of every purchase goes to fight breast cancer. Franz Borkart made that happen. Kendra Scott and Franz Borkart. One sentence. Boom. Boom. I'm going to lose this competition, by the way, Brian.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Jody Hammett, great guy. He deserves it. He's beating me like I owe him money right now.
As long as it stays at Mercy.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I feel like we're about
There's about 2 minutes left.
Okay, go for it.
No, I was going to say, When you asked earlier in the segment, what does the Salvation Army do? I was waiting for the answer. Give Sky Masterson a place to hold a craps game.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. This just, it's out of control, dude. This whole 4 more episodes and I'm done. So, anyway.
Oh, you're not.
So here's the thing. Where do I go from here? I've now had you on the show and Coach Mulkey. See what I just did there?
I mean,
Where do I go from now? What is the next? Like, I want to get Shaq on the show before I'm done doing this radio show. I don't think I'm going to get Shaq on. Or if I get Shaq on, it'll be a call-in. If you're listening out there, email me at info@GeauxRouge.com. What is the next stepping stone? I'm not going to get Coach Wade on here.
Wait, no, I like this. Like, what are your next 100 guests?
Nice try. Nice try.
I mean, if it's laid out there, then the benchmark is set.
I think if I could get Drew Brees or Shaq on, that would be a major accomplishment. Shaq, I think Drew Brees is more likely would be the one to get on because of his affiliation with some of the local businesses. Mm-hmm. And he's not doing the NFL anymore, right?
He's not playing in the NFL.
Okay, but
He'll be commentating for NBC.
Yeah, but I think I could get those guys. It's a Celebrate Baton Rouge show. We celebrate all the finest things in Baton Rouge. We're like the filet mignon of the Talk 107.3 Celebrate Baton Rouge movement. The taste of Baton Rouge.
Good Lord.
The flavor of Baton Rouge. Are we out of time yet?
No.
Feels like we're out of time yet.
No.
I can squeeze another 30 seconds if you like.
No, you got it. We can call it.
All right, so that's about it for this. This is what happens. You're a good sport. Thank you. We're about out of time. If you want more information about the episodes of Geaux Rouge, go to www.geauxrouge.com. This is Franz Borkart, Brian Haldane, Salvation Army. Have a good week. All right.
thanks for having me on, y'all. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
You did
This
a
is-
great job.
Well,
I'm
one of
sorry.
my favorite parts about LSU